Conscientious objection, put very simple, is the possibility of disobeying the law to avoid acting against one's deep convictions. In other words, is a person's right to refuse to obey a legal obligation when that obligation goes against a moral or religious rule that person follows. Conscientious objection is not a charitable concession from the state, but rather a right of individuals. In democratic societies, it's the majority who creates laws, and that is perfectly understandable. What is not legitimate is to force individuals that belong to minorities to act against their moral and religious principles. The majority rule has a limit when it comes to conscious matters. Certainly, the right to a conscientious objection cannot be the result of a personal whim or to be exercised just in any way. Neither can be used as an excuse to evade a duty. Even though some may think that conscientious objectors have an advantage, it's not easy to be one. Normally, they are surrounded by people, those of the majority, who have different beliefs and who quite not understand why they want to act and think differently. There can be conscientious objection in any sphere where the law commands to do something that goes against someone's convictions. Traditionally, cases have risen in the military, but they are not the only ones. There are professionals in the health field that refuse to perform certain practices, and there are patients who refuse to receive certain treatments. There are also conscientious objectors when pleading or venerating patriotic symbols. A very frequent and controversial case in these days is that of those who refuse to intervene in homosexual marriage ceremonies. It must be clear that being a conscientious objector has nothing to do with being a fanatic or an extremist. The goal of conscientious objection shouldn't be changing the law, harming others, or trying to impose one's point of view on others. The goal of conscientious objection is simply that no one is forced to act against what they healthily believe.